Hello viewers and welcome back to the third channel. Today we're doing another episode of Tom's TV show reviews. Now, this one is an interesting one because today we're talking about a Northern Irish sketch show that I would say is incredible, called Dry Your Eyes. Dry Your Eyes. The reason why I said it in like a Scottish way, sort of, is because the theme tune was written and performed by the Scottish duo The Proclaimers, who also sung 500 Miles and I'm on My Way and The Amazing Sunshine on Leith. What's weird about it, for me, is it's a Northern Irish sitcom, Northern Irish sketch show, that got the Proclaimers to make a song specifically for that, which I thought was a little bit unusual, having a Northern Irish programme with a Scottish theme tune. I don't know, I just think that's slightly odd. Now, it's had two iterations, so the original and then a really short revival, but that only lasted one episode. It's really good, the revival, but it's not as good as the original series. So, Dry Your Eyes is like your average sketch show, sorry. Your average sketch show. I don't know why I keep calling it as sitcom. It was by the same team that brought you Give My Head Some Peace, which is a sitcom. You can currently watch series 15 of that on the BBC iPlayer. Give My Head Some Peace. The revival is on BBC iPlayer as well, because it recently aired on BBC Two. So, it's like your average sketch show. What I mean by that is that it's like the same formula as a sketch show, but it's not average at all. It's incredible. You have your reoccurring characters, and you have your, so it has obviously it has a Northern Irish humour to it, which isn't different to our normal, let's think, the Fast Show or the sketch. It's not different to that type of humour. So if you like the sketch show with Lee Mack, I'm trying to think of another one, the Fast Show, and all, a Big Train and Smack the Pony and all them, then you really will like this, because it's no different to them. It's just the humour a little bit more aimed towards what was happening in Northern Ireland at the time. So it's not a topical news sketch show either. All the sketches are absolutely nonsense. And what I mean by that, right, because that's the best compliment I could give it, it's like all of it is silly, funny, out of this world. I couldn't tell you what my favourite sketch is, because I love all the sketches so much. In the revival I could tell you, right? So the revival had a different cast to it, because what it was that they said the Home of the War Gang, which is the name of their, it's like the Six Idiots, like Horrible Histories had the Six Idiots. I'm going to do a whole episode of my podcast, a bit of a rewrite of Six Idiots podcast, all about the Six Idiots themselves, because I've been doing a lunch watch of Horrible Histories, and I think Sarah Holland should be part of the Six Idiots. Don't come for me, I'll make a whole video on that. Anyway, so Home of the War Gang said, I think the BBC said to him, right, we want you to bring back Dry Your Eyes, but this time we want you to do the showcase for up and coming talent, right? Up and coming new comedians and new writers, and we want it to be like a showcase of new talent. And they said, right, we can do that. let's use the same theme tune, do a different intro to it so it looks a little bit more modern rather than what we did. So here you go. So they made it topical ever so slightly, because at the time of it broadcasting, everyone was still watching Line of Duty. I'm not saying they're not watching it now. It's just that Line of Duty isn't on anymore, as in it's not on the TV. Whether or not it will return, who knows. So they did this sketch where they had one of them being Ted Hastings, and every time, and they had someone being the criminal, and he kept singing. And there's a bit in Line of Duty who goes, "Oh, Mary, Joseph, and the wee donkey." Obviously, that was me having an accent, and I'll never do it again. So he said, "Mary, Joseph, the wee donkey." So what they did, and then he said something else after it. So then what they did is they sketches that every time he said something, he said, "Mary, Joseph, the wee donkey, a camel, a fish," and he would like to list off this whole list to make that sentence longer than it was supposed to be, which I think personally is incredible. That is my favourite sketch of the revival. I like the sketches from the original that were... I'm trying to think now. I quite like the pub sketches before the title sequence. I think they were a good measurement to say, here's a quick sketch before we have our title sequence. It's a really good sketch, but how can you go from there? So then each episode has the same character doing something different, and it's a reoccurring sketch, which I quite like. So with that light turning off and that light never actually turning on, I'll leave it at that. The revival of Dry Your Eyes is available on the BBC iPlayer, and the original is all available on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Time on that. Bye! Right, will I hurt myself on my way out? Yeah, I have. Ow! I just hit my foot on the chair. I mean table.